What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Trey Sense here. Got a little cologne review or a discussion for you, and it is on 5 fragrances that I have in my collection that remind me of the beach. Okay, first off, 3 honorable mentions. Let's get right to it. First honorable mention is Sean John's Unforgivable. Great little fragrance. The only problem I have with this is the performance. I understand a lot of fragrances this day and time are not performing the way that they should, but this is a great smelling fragrance. If it had better longevity and better projection, I mean, it would be a doozy. It's still a very good fragrance. It just doesn't perform like it's supposed to. Now, it does get a lot of comparisons to a very popular Creed fragrance. I think it's Millesime Imperial, but it also gets a lot of comparisons to a non-expensive fragrances from the house of Ed Hardy called Love and Luck. And I think I like Love and Luck a little bit better for some reason, but I wanted to put this one in the list because it doesn't get a lot of talk, and I just wanted to bring it to the forefront. It does smell pretty good. Projection on it is about 1.5 hours at best, maybe 2 hours. Longevity is spotty, 4 or 5 hours at best, and that's why I didn't make the list. But it does smell good. It does remind me of a beachy type fragrance, but not enough to knock out the top 5. All right, another one. Honorable mention, Polo Black. Again, just reminds me of the beach. It smells kind of coconutty, but not really. It just gives me a beachy vibe. Again, I grew up wearing polo clothes. Was a big fan of polo stuff at one time, but I've kind of strayed away from that, especially the fragrances, because they just don't perform like they used to. And it's very expensive for it to be a poor performer. I can deal with longevity issues and projection issues if the fragrance is inexpensive. But when you're talking about paying a lot of money for a fragrance and it doesn't do what it's supposed to, I'm just not with that. So, but it does smell good and it does remind me of the beach. That's why it's in this list. I mean, I could have picked a ton more fragrances to put on here, but these are the ones that moved me the most and made me think about the beach the most. And the third honorable mention is Kendrick Goods Sea Salt and Fig, sold at Old Navy. Now, this fragrance is perfect for the beach. Sea salt and fig, that's what you get, salty sweetness. And it's a perfume concentration, but it doesn't really perform like one. To me, I get about 1 hour, 1.5 hours of projection with about 3 hours of longevity, and then it just burns off my skin. And it's very disappointing because it smells good, but with the bottle being so small, compact, you can easily transport it, so it's not that big of a deal with this one. But it wasn't good enough to knock out the top 5. Okay, let's get into it. Here are my top 5 fragrances that remind me of the beach. Now, this is just my collection and my opinion. You guys may have better beach fragrances in your collection and you may have a different opinion, but keep in mind, this is my opinion, so nobody's feelings gets hurt, whatever. All right, number 5 on this list is Gues Indigo, 1981. I love this little fragrance. It smells good, a little fig in there. Something about it just reminds me of the beach. If it was a little bit more salty, they could have named it a beach name. Something beach, or, you know, Set Sail St. Beach or whatever. But that's Gues 1981 Indigo. I get decent performance out of this one. I get 2+ hours of projection with 5-6 hours of longevity. It's a decent fragrance and it's inexpensive. A bottle like this will cost you about $12 to $14. And you can't beat that. That's number 5 on my list. And that is Gues 1981 Indigo. Number 4. And not only is this a good smelling fragrance, it is one of my best looking bottles. And it is Tommy Bahama Island Life. Now, this doesn't get the best performance either. But I think the smell is so unique that it's worth it. And it definitely reminds me of a beach. And it's a little bit masculine. It's kind of a masculine, beachy, aquatic type fragrance. I paid $19.99 for it, so I'm sure you can find it for around the same price. It's a cologne concentration, and for a cologne concentration, it does okay. I get about 2 hours of projection, between 4 and 5 hours of longevity, which is moderate. But again, it's a cologne concentration, so that works okay for me. That's Tommy Bahama Island Life. Whew, that's number 4. So these next 3, you know, gonna be good. Man, it was tough picking them too. Number 3 on my list of fragrances that remind me of the beach, and this one is in every serious collector's collection, and it is Nautical Voyage. And this is a great fragrance, man. You cannot go wrong with this. It's beachy, masculine, aquatic, great performer. 2.5 hours of longevity. Of projection. 5-6 hours of longevity. This is one of the best fragrances, bar none, bar price, anything. Nautical Voyage is a banger. I don't know if it matters, but I do have the old metal top one. And I get good performance out of this one. Great smelling fragrance. I like it a lot. That's Nautical Voyage at the number 3 spot. That was number 2. Number 2, and this was one of my favorites as well. And I absolutely love this house. I've been wearing Bulgari fragrances for a long time. And this is Bulgari Aqua Amora. And this definitely reminds me of the beach. Sea salt, sea salt, sea salt, wet sand, sea salty type of vibe mixed in with some orange. It just reminds me of the beach. It takes me to a very good place when I wear this one. The only thing I don't like about this bottle is it's hard to store. That's it. And I get good longevity. I get about 2.5 hours of projection out of this one with 6 or 7 hours of longevity. This one does good on my skin. I like it a lot, and it's very inexpensive. I got this bottle at Ross for like $20, $19.99. I haven't seen it there a lot here lately, but I did pick it up. It's been about 1.5 years ago, and the price I paid for it was $19.99. And I'm pretty sure you can get it at that price. I forgot to mention the price point on Nautical Voyage, but the price on this is dirt cheap. You can pick up this 100 ml bottle easily under $15 if you shop right. Definitely don't pay more than $20 for this. Great fragrance. And last but not least, on the list of fragrances in my collection that remind me of the beach, goodness gracious, I love this fragrance. And this is John Varvatos Artisan Pure. There's not enough I can say about this fragrance. This is one of my favorite fragrances of all time in my collection. I just love it. I love the vibe that it gives off, the energy. It just invokes good thoughts and good, fun memories for me of being at the beach. I haven't even worn this to the beach yet. But just that smell of all the citruses in the top, and it has a ton of notes in it, too many to list. And for John Varvatos fragrance, this one actually performs good. I got about 3 hours of projection out of this and about 7 to 8 hours of longevity. It is by far one of the best performing fragrances from his house. As if you have any familiarity with his fragrances, you know they normally lack performance. But they got it right with this one. I'm not sure what they did different, but it does perform well. Whew. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sitting through it. If you have any familiarity with any of the fragrances that I put in my top 5, let me know about them. If you have a top 5, let me know what yours is. Let me know what your scent of the day is. My scent of the day just happens to be I love Cavalli, just Cavalli. It's a pretty decent fragrance, but we'll talk about that another time. But let me know what your scent of the day is, what you think about these fragrances. Man. Y'all have got to get your hands on this. This is a banger, man. It smells amazing. All right, guys. Like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. Give me a thumbs up. Again, if you have any familiarity with these fragrances, let me know. All right, guys. Hope everybody's having a good Monday. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time, peace.